Pull up a chair, fill up a plate, come over early, you gon' stay late. Ain't nothing better than music and friends. It's gatherings and guitars. On today's episode of Gatherings and Guitars, Jennifer sits down with the legendary Texas singer-songwriter Jamie Lin Wilson. They talk about her early memories of music, balancing being a busy mom of 4 and what that means in the kitchen, and what's up next for her plans. It's episode 5 of Gatherings and Guitars.
All right. Welcome back to Gatherings and Guitars podcast. We are so excited to have tonight is my big birthday bash here at the farm. And we've got Heather Stalling, Courtney Patton, and Jamie Lin Wilson here. And this is my first time to host Jamie, either at Bay or here at the farm. And we're so excited to have you here tonight.
Well, thank
Jamie.
you. Thank you for inviting me to your home. It's very lovely.
Thank you.
I'm excited for the show.
Yeah. So this is our 4th year to do the birthday bash and bring different artists in. And it's just such a fun night. So I'm so looking forward to it. So Jamie's here for the first time. And so she graciously agreed to come on and let us record a little podcast real quick before she has to go on stage. So thanks for giving us a little bit of your time, Jamie. So I'm just going to go through some of the questions that I kind of go through with the other artist. And I love just learning and talking about your history in music, but then also your history with food and family traditions and maybe some of your favorite things.
Okay.
So one of the first things I'd love to ask is, what is your first memory of music like stirring you and you knowing that, you know, this is something that's really special to me?
Well, I remember whenever I was little and recognizing songs, like listening to words, you know, and like I remember, I guess the first time that I really thought of like songs being true. I mean, I always kind of thought they were all true, but I hadn't, like, in relating to my own life.
Yeah.
I remember being at my grandpa's birthday party. This was maybe like his 80th birthday party or something, and I was 8 or 9. And I remember all of the grown-ups were there. I think that our family of kids were maybe the only kids there, so it was mostly just grown-ups. And we didn't know that side of the family very well, so I was just kind of attached to the people that I knew. And I went outside, and I stood by my dad, and my Uncle Melvin was out there, and so Uncle Melvin and my dad and all the old men that I didn't know, they were talking about, well, I think it's going to rain tomorrow. Y'all think it's going to rain tomorrow? And, you know, just like old men do.
Yeah.
And then I got bored and went inside, and I kind of sat between my mom and Aunt Johnny, who is Melvin's wife. Mm-hmm. So I went, you know, and I still remember like her waist was like right here, like I was tiny. Yeah. And she was talking about Uncle Melvin and telling something about, well, Uncle Melvin, blah, blah, blah. And I ran to my mom and I was like, Mom, it's like that song. It's like the song that says, all the old men sit and talk about the weather, and all the old women sit and talk about old men. Yes. I was like, it's the same that just happened,
gosh,
like in the
that's
same
so
moment,
cool.
you know.
Yes.
And she was like, okay, you know, yeah, sure, honey. You know.
Yeah, little Randy Travis.
Yeah, that's the first time that I remember going like, oh. Yeah. That actually just related to your life. You know, usually in country music that we listen to, it was a lot of, you know, sad love songs or whatever. But that was the first time that I was like, oh, I just saw that go down.
That's so cool that I vividly remember that.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so what is your music story, your journey? Like when did it start for you?
Oh, well, I mean, I always loved to sing when I was little, and obviously music really was a big part of me growing up, whether I knew it or not. You know, there was always a radio on. There was always something. It was either just the normal radio station, and then on Sundays it would play Red Steagall, and we'd all sit and listen. And you know, there was always something with music or poetry or something happening that I didn't know whether it was normal or not. It was normal,
Right.
you know. But I didn't get a guitar until I was in college. And then I started playing guitar in college and just kind of never stopped. Like, everybody always asks me, like, what are my goals? What were your goals when you started? I'm like, I didn't have, like, I wrote 10 songs and I made a record, and then I wrote 10 more songs and I made another record. I don't know. It was just like, it's been one foot in front of the other since I was 19, and I really, that's it. Like, I just kind of picked up a guitar and started playing, and then started writing songs, and then I just didn't stop doing that.
Wow. Yeah.
You know?
Right. So when did you like do it as a career though? Like did you go
I
all
got
the way
in a
through
band.
college?
Yeah, I graduated college. I got in a band in college, and we kept playing. That band was called the Gougers. We kept going we broke up in 2009, so that was 5 or 6 more years after college. And we started touring nationally probably in 2006. And by that time I was already married. I got married in 2004. And then we just kind of, like, I always had a day job-ish, which was newspaper. I had a background in newspapers, so that's a thing that I could do. My mom worked in a newspaper growing up, so I just kind of knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And
Writing?
no, design.
Oh, design. Okay.
Yeah, I did layout
Awesome. Okay.
mainly. I hate selling things, and I hate writing news articles. Yeah. So I just sat there and, made up songs and designed the newspaper.
Yeah.
And in small towns, they only come out once a week. So Tuesday is the big day that you have to design the paper.
Gotcha.
So I'd get all the stuff on Tuesday, and then I'd put the newspaper together and then turn it in. It comes out on Thursdays. So it was a job for a long time, but it wasn't until, I probably could have made a living solely on music, and a living is loose. I don't have very many expenses,
Yeah.
We live in a super small town where everything's cheap. So it's not like I have to make a ton of money. But it was 2014, after my third kid was born, that I went, I can't help you anymore. My parents, they owned a newspaper, and at that time I was building the newspaper for them. Wherever I was, I would just go, we can be wherever. I can be in Idaho. I can be in Nebraska. I can be in New York City, but I can't work on Tuesday.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I have to sit in the hotel with Wi-Fi
Oh my gosh.
and build
Lay
a
out the
newspaper
paper.
on Tuesday.
Wow.
And then, I'd make my whatever it was a week and go about my business. But after the third kid came, I was like, Mom, Dad,
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore. It's too much.
Yeah.
I had 3 under, the oldest was 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Plus a music career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, being a mama.
but yeah,
is,
so after that, I've been making a living on music ever since then.
Yeah. Do your kids love it? Do they love
They-
for you playing in the house?
They have gone through their moments of, will you please just stop singing everything?
Yeah.
Like, at least once a week, it's like, do you have to sing everything? And then I'm like, well, would you rather me yell at you? Or do you want me
Yeah.
to sing to you about putting your shoes on right now before I beat you?
Yeah.
It sounds better when I sing it,
I did that when my kids were growing up. I
like,
did
it doesn't sound as threatening.
that. Yes. Yes.
Like, would you rather me just yell at you?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, fine. But now they do it. A couple of my kids, they'll be like walking around singing whatever they want to tell their brother,
That's
like,
awesome.
I see you.
Now, a word from our sponsors. Lang Twins Winery, a 5th-generation family-owned and operated winery making certified sustainable wines in Lodi, California. Look for Sandpoint and Lang Twins signature wines in restaurants and retail stores near you. Sandpoint is our house wine of Old Quail Run Farm. Now back to the show.
So when you're home and you're not on the road and playing for people, do you cook a lot in your kitchen?
Well, I have 4 children, so
Yeah.
I have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I used to, I go through phases of sometimes everything is great and planned out and I know what we're having. And then sometimes it's like, oh shoot, it's time. And
Yeah.
you have to be at basketball practice and you have, you
Yeah.
know, gymnastics in 30 minutes and, you know, what can I throw together? And
Yeah.
I'm really good friends with my air fryer
There you
at
go.
the moment.
Yeah.
Like there's the air fryer is a mom's
friend.
best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, you can cook anything in that thing in 10 minutes.
When my kids were growing up, the crock pot was definitely my friend when they were in sports and all the things.
So one thing that we've done, you know, again, I live in a super small town, and luckily I have been able to make really good mom friends
Yeah.
there in my town. And that's a lesson for another podcast, but I was very adamant about I have to make friends here. And we have a group that gets together maybe like every 6 weeks or so, and we make crock pot meals and then
in like Ziploc
in
baggies.
Ziploc baggies.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so it's really fun for, like, I have one mom friend that is very organized and very spreadsheety and color code things and all that. And we just tell her, you put it together
Yeah.
and then tell us what to bring.
Yeah.
And we all sign up for certain amounts of things, you know, just make sure that we all have a couple packages of chicken and
That's
some
right.
ground beef and some
That's awesome.
cutlets or whatever. I don't care what we're
Yes.
making.
Yeah.
Just tell us what to bring. And we sit there and we go, okay, somebody get the garlic, somebody get the onions, somebody, you
That's
know, I have my
fantastic.
food processor and I'm chopping onions. And so then the next time we'll do casseroles. And the
Okay, so you do
crock
change it
pots.
up.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
change it
yeah.
up every time. And those casseroles have saved me.
I
lately.
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any mom could use casseroles in the
Yeah,
freezer.
it's great though. Like we have a great, and we get to visit while we do it
Yeah.
and say no husbands allowed.
There you go.
No
That's
kids
That's
allowed.
a great girls' night.
Yeah.
So, okay, so when you're doing that or when you're in your kitchen at home, do you always play music while you're cooking?
Usually the only music that is on while I'm cooking is the beautiful sound of children fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because they're hungry and they don't know it, but that's
Yeah.
why they're mad.
Yeah.
You know, we always have a radio on.
Yeah.
We're one of those families that there's AM stations out of San Antonio. And there's one out of Hondo, KCWM out of Hondo, and then KKYX in San Antonio. And there's traditional country playing in our house 24 hours a day.
Is there?
Unless it's on KKYX at the time, or on KCWM, because it turns on at 8 a.m. and turns off at 8 p.m. The signal cuts out.
Oh my God.
These are AM stations.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so my kids love old country music by osmosis.
I love that.
You know,
Yeah.
and in the morning it's another, 1200 WOAI. And it's the news on the radio in the
Yeah.
kitchen.
That's fantastic.
It's pretty cool. They do the Pledge of Allegiance every morning at 7 a.m. on the radio.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Small town.
Yeah, small town. I mean, that's a San Antonio
That's
station.
Really?
Yeah, we just pick it up and use it.
That's
You know.
fantastic.
It's great.
Yeah. So do you have any family traditions around food or
Well, growing up, my mom is German, like
Oh, yeah.
100%. And
my dad was?
yeah, and so whenever and I grew up in Southeast Texas, so whenever with us it was meat and potatoes,
Right. Yeah.
every meal was some form of meat and potatoes or rice because we were in rice country. So
Yeah.
like those are my comfort foods, like the cheap cut of beef and some sort of potatoes, goulash.
Yeah.
Like the kind of meal where you just throw things in and go, I don't know, what meat
Yeah.
do I have? What vegetables are about
Yeah.
to go bad? My husband and I thought of this really good cooking show the other day, and I don't know if this exists yet,
Okay.
but the idea is that all of the contestants get a refrigerator and they don't know what's in it,
Okay.
but they're all leftovers.
Oh, okay.
And one refrigerator might have like half a cup of corn
Yeah.
and like a cup or two of 4-day-old rice and like some sausage that might be about to go bad and like just like some lasagna, maybe a King Ranch casserole, little tiny bits of it.
Yeah.
And then
You got
you have to make something
out of that,
and
yeah.
everybody has like a crutch, you know, this like, yeah, that one has a lot of really good stuff to make something great out of, but they're out of salt.
Oh,
And they can't go to the store.
You gotta have.
So what are you going to do about it?
That's
you know,
hilarious.
and
Yeah.
you know, like this one has really crappy food, but they have butter
Oh, well, you can do a lot
and
with
flour.
butter. Yeah. Oh,
That one that they don't have butter or flour.
I don't know.
You know, wouldn't that be a great show?
That'd be hard.
I think that would be so fun.
Yeah.
To be like the leftovers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, are you a cocktail or a wine girl?
Cocktail. I mean, it depends on who I'm hanging out with, but if I'm going to drink at my house, which I don't very often,
Yeah. I didn't when my kids.
then
were,
I'll probably make some sort of a cocktail or just grab a beer because Roy always has Keystones. And
Yeah.
if they're really cold, then I'll have one. But if they're not, then I won't have one. And, but we always have some sort of liquor in our house because I'm in a band,
Yeah.
you know, and we come home with it.
Right. Right.
So I have it,
Yeah.
you know, but my mother-in-law, she drinks wine. So if I'm at her house next door, then I drink Chardonnay with her.
Oh yeah. So you live next door to your
Yes.
in-laws.
Yes.
How fun.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like
My daughter
sometimes-
lives in my backyard.
sometimes people are like, oh, wow, you live next door to your mother-in-law. Whew. And I'm like, yeah, well, you obviously don't have my mother-in-law because
Yes.
it's awesome. Like I can be like, kids, go to Granny's.
Well, with 4 kids, yeah, I bet.
Go to Granny's.
That's the-
go take
that
this
is
to
the
Granny's.
best.
You know.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, to wrap this up, what tell us about any new projects you've got going on or what's coming out? What
Oh, well, I've got a ton of songs in the can right now that I just have to figure out what to do with. And I'm writing. I'm about to make another little trip to Nashville to write with a couple friends there. And I'm trying to figure out what I want my next project to be. Mm-hmm. I made a little project in my trailer, in my little Airstream trailer, where I did all the live streams during COVID. Mm-hmm. I have a friend that came over and we recorded like video and audio of like just acoustic songs in there. So I've got that. I mean, I'm really good at making things. I'm just not good at releasing them. So
lots of stuff in the vault, huh?
yeah, I mean, this year should be a pretty good year for releases. I just don't know when they're going to happen, but I have some pretty big shows this year that I'm excited about. So I just have to make sure that I release enough music to make people show up to those shows. That's
Right.
to do it before that.
I don't
happens.
think you have a problem with anyone not showing up to your shows.
Well,
So, okay, you want to tell everybody your website or social media? Or
yeah,
anything?
Jamie Lin Wilson. It's Lin. Jamie Lin, Lin Wilson. That's just I'm that on all the things, Instagram,
things.
Facebook, and .com.
So go follow her. Are you on
Yeah.
Spotify? And
I am.
Apple
Yeah,
Music?
those Spotify follows make a big difference.
They do. They
Like
do.
if everybody that has Spotify can go and give a follow to your favorite artists,
Yeah.
the powers that be really look at those.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, people ask a lot like, what can I do if I just stream music? Like, well,
Yeah.
like download the songs
Mm-hmm.
to your phone. Like they look at downloads and they look at
Really?
follows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
yeah. Okay.
you can do all of your favorites a favor.
Yeah. For
Do
sure.
that.
Just like your small businesses.
Yep.
Go like them and share them.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us a little bit of your time. I
Of
so
course.
appreciate
I'm
it.
excited to eat your wonderful food. It smells
Yeah.
good.
All right. All right. Thanks everybody for joining in with us once again, and we'll see you on the other side.
Make something out of nothing.
even when I look and you are not around. All the things you never said, you said as you walked so tall. Guess you never were that quiet after all. And all the books you read, they seem to have forgotten. You can't find your way into them all. You're a cowboy riding off into the sunset, like a picture you've got painted on your wall. And the gypsy queen, she'll find a way to find you, and she'll take you across the land and through the air. And like a scene from long ago, you'll leave behind you a poem and a picture and a prayer. All the things you never said, you said as you walked so tall. Guess you never were that quiet after all. Michael, I ain't ever been so lonely. I guess somehow I ain't ever been alone. Well, if you come tomorrow, meet me in the morning time, for to hold my hand and walk with me back home. If you come tomorrow, meet me in the morning. Just birthday.
Jennifer Taylor, everybody.
This
is a beautiful
work
place.
on her birthday.
It ain't work if you're having fun.
Jennifer.
Pull up a chair, fill up a plate. Come over early, you gon' stay late. Ain't nothing better than music and friends. It's gatherings and guitars.